In the early spring of 1907, as the snow began to melt in the valleys of Setesdal, two young men embarked on a journey that would take them far from their homes in Norway to the bustling streets of New York City. Tellef Olsen, just 19 years old, and his friend Salva were ready to leave behind the familiar landscapes of Hornus for the unknown wonders of the New World. The story begins at Hornus Station, a humble yet significant departure point nestled among Norway's serene mountain. On a crisp March morning, Tellef and Salve boarded the steam train that would carry them southward, their excitement barely contained. The chugging of the locomotive, the billowing clouds of steam, and the rhythmic clattering of wheels on tracks were the sounds of their first step into a larger world. As the train roared through the Norwegian countryside, Tellef and Salve gazed out the windows at the receding mountains and forests, their hearts beating in time with the powerful engine. This was not just any train. It was a marvel of modern engineering. Steam trains like this one were the arteries of Europe, connecting distant towns and cities, carrying dreams and ambitions on their iron rail. The train journey came to an end in Kristisansand, where the vastness of the sea awaited them. The salty air, the sight of ships bobbing in the harbor, and the distant horizon ignited their imagination. They boarded a steamship bound for Hull, England, marking the beginning of their oceanic adventure. The voyage across the North Sea was a mixture of anticipation and excitement. The ship cut through the cold waters, its smokestacks leaving a trail of black clouds against the gray sky. Tellef and Salve spent their days on deck, watching the waves and dreaming of what lay ahead. As the powerful steam engines pushed them closer to their destination. After arriving in Hull, the next leg of their journey took them across the English countryside by train, this time to the great port city of Liverpool. The English trains were a marvel, faster and smoother than they had ever imagined. The lush green landscape zipped by as they were whisked toward their next adventure. In Liverpool, the heart of the British Empire's maritime power, they set eyes on the RMS Caronia, a steamship of grand proportions. It was no ordinary vessel. It was a Cunard Line marvel, one of the finest steamships of its time, designed for luxury and speed. The sight of it, with its towering smokestacks and elegant lines, filled them with awe. On board the RMS Caronia, Tellef and Salve experienced a level of comfort they had never known. The ship was a floating palace with grand dining halls, luxurious lounges, and comfortable cabins. Each evening, they dined on exquisite meals, mingling with fellow passengers, hearing stories of the world beyond, and enjoying the music that filled the ship's grand ballroom. The journey across the Atlantic was a time of dreams and wonder for the two young men. As the days passed, they grew more eager, knowing that each turn of the propellers brought them closer to New York, the city of endless possibility. On April 5th, 1907, the skyline of New York City came into view, a sight unlike any they had ever seen. The towering buildings, the Statue of Liberty, and the bustling harbor were all symbols of the new life that awaited them. Disembarking from the Caronia, Tellef and Salve set foot on American soil, filled with hope and excitement. New York City was a whirlwind of sights, sounds, and experiences. The streets were alive with people from all corners of the world. The shops were filled with goods they had never seen, and the buildings seemed to touch the sky. Tellef and Salve spent their days exploring, marveling at the energy of the city, and imagining the opportunities that lay ahead.